riddle me this, okay? So this spiritual awakening, I just had a spiritual transformation. I've been experiencing a spiritual transformation, as you heard the past few videos, right? And what it's supposed to do, or what it's geared to do, is to allow me to face my true north node, right? My true authenticity, in order to have my counterpart, but I had to get out of my Mars energy and go into my Venus energy to be able to receive it. So let's see. I'm open and receptive to new avenues of income. That's more than just money. It's more than just finer things in life. Finer things in life by way of things. It's people too. It's spiritual intimacy too. Like a counterpart has matched your spiritual intimacy. Right? So riddle me this. Let's see. That's the theme. That's the theme right now. Blame it on my gypsy soul. Because you would have never went through with this as a fixated person who's just like, no, you got to go corporate America. You got to go to school. Nothing wrong with college, by the way. Nothing wrong with studying something specific or a broad range of things to get to where you want to get to. But your gypsy soul is like, I cannot be conformed to nobody's idiocracy. Even if it means don't go corporate America, that's still somebody's business plan. It wasn't yours. You didn't do it. That's just an idea. You don't have to go through with it to be successful. Hence, I'm open and receptive to new avenues of income, right? So blame that on the gypsy soul right there. And on the bottom of that, what is, it just said leave the one. Keep shuffling. What does it mean to have a gypsy soul? Anyway, being a gypsy it's not being a witch. It's being a free spirit. Somebody who's prejudged and misjudged by a corporate ladder. Somebody who's in a box. This is somebody who's open-minded, free, doesn't judge. She pursues her north node. That's somebody who's always close to their north, who's closest to their north node than anybody who walks this earth. Be there for you. That's somebody who will be there for you. I never had this card before. I'll be there for you. Isn't that the Friends theme song? I'll be there for you. Okay, so the gypsy, like in a reading, you're encouraged to say yes to new opportunities and adventures. So this is the card I was reading from. You're open and receptive to new avenues of income. But there is something that it says on the back as well. It says, I now receive my good from expected and unexpected sources. I am unlimited being, accepting from an unlimited source in an unlimited way. I am blessed beyond my fondest dreams. Now, if you look at the illustrations, it has newspapers, letters, telephone, a door. I feel like you're going to receive like royalty checks and getting calls from big name people. You're going to make the news. You'll be in a newspaper. Like, even on a newspaper, if you may can't see it, but there's a man and a woman there. There's a counterpart. And I pulled from my intuitive deck, and the cards that came out from left to right: the Tower, the Emperor, the Lovers, and the Empress. The Lovers can represent the counterparts and the twin flames as well, but what it really does talk about is your authenticity and your true north. Because if you look at the illustration, she has abundance on one side, on the other side she has something else, but there's a snake on her arm as well. So it could be her north node or her south. It could represent north node or south node, as well as coupling with someone, or it really is just about being true to yourself. So to put the gypsy card with this, that match, and the hues of green match everything. Especially the ones that fill your heart with a sense of excitement. Like, you're not somebody who's vanilla. Contrary to the box that people want to put you in. Like, you met a real stickler. Okay, he tried to push you in a box. Okay, professionally, in your personal life, and your friends. You have to say fuck all of them. Honestly, excuse me for cussing, but you're gonna have to say all of them. Say forget all of them because they don't match. They're not spiritually intimate with you. Gypsy, by the way, perhaps it's about, you can handle like the unfamiliar better than most. Like you're not afraid of the unknown. Once you get your bearings, you find a way to thrive. Like you're always on an adventure. You make everything, every experience an adventure. And I wish more people were like that, to enjoy. You got to be able to enjoy what you discover and what you experience, even if everything don't quite iron out in your favor. So I guess let me see, the spiritual guidance, it really just speaks about the nature of your soul, the wanderlust of your soul, the heart quest for new worlds and amazing experiences. You're meant to feel like that. So if you're a person who has like a gypsy soul, a gypsy soul, you're always looking for new adventures and just what's different, not what everybody else likes. That's just how life is meant to be. And it's a divine adventure. It's not just any type of adventure. You're not just all over the place. Not like a scatterbrain, but someone who's meant to go on a journey inside yourself and out into the world. So to be a true gypsy soul, you got to start from within to be able to go out in the world in a certain fashion. You're meant to explore a world bigger than you and what you currently know. So it's not like sticking with what you were raised to do or what you've been doing leading up to now. Sometimes you might worry that you might have missed your chance. So with that being said, if you're a person, like if you're concerned, like did I wait too late in life, or I'm already established in a certain way, should I just stick with that? No, you can never miss your destiny. I don't feel like that. I feel like you're at a age that's seasoned enough, whereas it works out better at this age than it would have 10 and 15 years ago, give or take. It's waiting for you. So, to be there for you. That looks like Gemini twins. This whole reading just looked like North Node. Gemini, North Node. Let me see. So I never had this card before, so I do want to read it. Be there for you. So in a reading, it's time to let yourself off the hook. Don't interpret the behavior of other people or circumstances outside of your control to indicate something negative about you. I wonder if the people who were negative Nancy's towards you that try to project and deflect their stuff onto you, I wonder if they ever listen to your readings. Because they certainly are, they God has a very mysterious way of putting everybody in their place of where they're justly due. So if you're falling apart and you're unhinged somewhere and you somewhere contemplating and thinking, damn, why the hell did I try to go up against that person? I should have never judged her based off of this or that. Judged her. I should have never picked certain things about her and try to attack it, so to speak. Like, I feel like you regret it now more than you will later. You can learn from your choices more easily if you stop like punishing yourself whatever you feel, if you feel like you made a mistake. Now, to be real, I'm a super compassionate person, very empathetic. So naturally, that attracts people to me that always could use my support, my emotional well-being. Because you have to do shadow work to show up for other people. So you always attract people who need you. They're not your counterparts or something like that, but they are people who could use your guidance, your healing abilities, your natural defense mechanisms, the very same things that protects you while you're doing this thing called life, are the same things other people could use. You teach people how to use it, or bring it more to the surface for themselves. But you got to go within. Everybody doesn't know how to do that. So if there's ever an error of judgment, you always want to have compassion for yourself. If you've extended yourself and showed up for somebody and they were like against you, it turned out to be a Barzini. If you watch Godfather, you know what I'm talking about. With Carlos, he was all for the sister. They used to be in love. And then Barzini approached him to take the Godfather down. He just infiltrated all these different things to happen to the Godfather to bring him down, you know, to be top dog. It didn't work, obviously, because he had Michael. Do you dig? Michael was a balance. He was even kill and he was super intelligent. Okay? But dig. At the end, when Mike went and settled all family business, and he went to Carlos and said, "You have to answer for my brother. He killed his brother, and he beat his sister." And he was laying it out for him. He said, "Mike, I'm innocent." He said, "Do not tell me you innocent because it insults my intelligence." And the point that I'm bringing up with saying that whole scene, reenacting that scene, is there's somebody in your face that's two-faced, that's been a liar the whole time. You know, he's plotting. He see things that he's supposed to have, and he feel like, well, why does she have them? Why can't I have it too? Or why can't I have hers? Okay? Only don't tell me you're innocent because it insults my intelligence. Makes me very angry that you could sit in somebody's face and act like you wasn't trying to take them down. One thing about me, those psychic abilities are very real. Those intuitive abilities are very real. So if I get the premonition, it is what it is. I don't try to second guess it. I don't doubt it. I don't question it. I just say, thank you, God. Okay. Moving on. Even in the decisions, you know, we regret, you know, can help us grow wiser when we swap judgment for compassion, like I just got finished saying. You know, sometimes we can only learn what we need to know from what doesn't work. You're not going to get all your valuable lessons based off of good sense and common sense. You still have to experience this thing called life. And sometimes certain people, places, things, they don't work out all the time. Okay? And you have to learn a person, place, and thing, and you figure it out. Okay, that doesn't work for me. That may work for me, but that doesn't work for me. You always want to forgive yourself. You have your own back. You're your own best friend. Well, this card is like, plays very well with this gypsy soul because people are always going to perceive you as, oh, fuck that, fuck her, she's a witch, or she's a weirdo or something, or she's an easy mark because she's not corporate America. I say corporate America as a nickname because a lot of conformists flock to corporate America, and I'm not that. Hence the gypsy soul. So the psychology behind all of this put together. Well, how do you deal with this while living through this thing called life and still continue to show up for people? You know, how do you show up for you? You find clues to help you get nearer to your dreams. Remember, the best clues are often disguised. What clues can you find today? Exactly. So you look at things that didn't work in your favor as a clue that help you get closer to your dreams, because everybody serves a purpose in your life. Everybody's meant to help you get there, even if they're trying to tear you down, is what I'm trying to say. They help. Sometimes people do those rumors, those snide comments they make at you, and they tell these rumors about you, like, you remind you the one doing all the talking. I didn't say 2 words. You the one out there doing all the talking. Okay? So if somebody thinks a certain way or think they know a certain thing, it's because you was out there running your mouth. You know, loose lips sink ships. Okay, you was out there trying to pull. What do people put on them shoes of narcissism? Everybody wants to be narcissistic because they don't want to do the inner work. This is what I would say to those people. You can't force your dreams to come true. Dreams can only be blown into the wind like feathers, after which we need to learn to trust, to be patient, and wait with our hearts open. Every day is a possibility for change. So what's your rush? Why does it have to be done tonight? Why can't it be done tomorrow or next week or next year? Why can't you take the time to build it strategically? What else? The initiation. This is a rites of passage, crossing the threshold. And that matched the Tower card. Basically, people who tried to over-exaggerate the part they was meant to play in your life was only just a small part. That was just, you go like Showtime in the Apollo, you got the acts, the opening acts, and then you got the intermission. They were the intermission. Somebody to entertain you, but also show you things. They were supposed to just give you counsel, even if it's through an experience that doesn't quite work in nobody's favor. But they tried to over-exaggerate their position in your space, or overexert themselves in your space, or just basically bluntly try to take over your space, your soul, your mindset, your emotional well-being, your mental state. It's like this: before you try to come from mine, you need to get yours in order. Get your own. You would need to come for somebody else if you were stable. And they see you going through this initiation, this tower moment, this spiritual evolution. And if you look at this illustration, it's very dark. You know, you have to walk through that darkness to get to that light. You see what's in there? It's all colorful in there. And it's like, well, maybe you just don't have the feet that qualifies to walk through what it takes to get to that light at the end of the tunnel. But on the bottom of it, it says, take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Exactly. You're not a robot. You're not going to be everything for everybody. And then I think it speaks to more people who like to perpetrate like they have it together when they really don't. Get off the fucking treadmill. Take a break. You know, mentally decompress or something. Like, take a break. Like, who are you supposed to be carrying all these bricks for? This okay, that gives me like 10 of Wands energy. Big time. Shit. So what's in your subconscious? Oops. That ain't how you shuffle cards. Hold up. That card looks really good with you can't force your dreams to come true. Exactly. It doesn't have to happen tonight. You got time. That also gives me, I took out a loan with a loan shark, and they tax that interest on there. You got to give me 4 points on every dollar of the loan I loaned to you. And you got to hurry up and try to make the shit happen before it's too late, before you stuck with all the dirty damages. And a loan shark, when they come to collect, they may come with an ice pick for your knees because you didn't deliver like you promised you would. You know, what's in the subconscious? Don't let your pride get in the way. This is somebody, you may not be over there beating yourself up about anything. It's okay. Don't let your pride get in the way. You needed me. What'd she say? Don't get it twisted. You was just another person on the hit list. I can't say the N word. Trying to fix your inner issues with a bad bitch. Didn't they tell you I was a savage? Fuck your white horse and white carriage. Okay? You needed me. You could have just said that. It's very therapeutic. Like, I'm not arrogant in that way. I wouldn't have shot you down. Nothing is set in stone yet. Mutable. What's your mutable signs? Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius. It could be any sign for that matter. You can embody that energy or have it anywhere in your chart, by the way. Nothing yet is set in stone. So you still have a chance to go repent, to make that right, to go reverse what you thought you had to do to gain momentum, to gain prestige, more prestige. Whoever you are. Like, this is what's done in a secret. Like, somebody went real low vibrational and just started operating out of their ego. I feel like they tried to make something happen through sex. You know, sex is a big thing. The physical acts, like the lovers is here, which can represent that. You know, low vibration, high vibration. Somebody tried to fit the bill without doing the work. All right, so what else? Do I need to go? Should I go tarot now? Even though a few tarot cards is out here. Let me use a different tarot deck. Wait, there's more. There's more. God said there's more. Keep talking. Okay, let me use my StarSeed deck. I'm told I need to amplify on some of this stuff we're talking about. Okay, amplify means expand on your answer, like elaborate more on what you want to say. Surrender to sweetness. Now it's just getting more direct. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. So I guess I take that as advice not to operate from my Mars energy and just stay in your Venus energy. That's how you get closer to your destination. And on the bottom is Star Keeper. Star Keeper is the cosmic ancestor. See the light by staying grounded. Exactly. But what's good about all of this is that, you know, I feel like that the person that was plotted on, strategized against, they stayed grounded. You know, they did the right thing, you know, by saying no is a complete sentence. No, period. That's a complete sentence. I should name this reading No, period. But cosmic ancestor, you know, you listen to your spirit guides. And this light, if you look at the statue, like if you look at, you see how the light is at the top of his head? He's getting a download. This is God talking to him. This person went and submitted. This person went and repented. What's the word I'm like? Surrendered. This person went and surrendered to the Most High to seek counsel. Like I feel like I fell short on certain things and I need to be redirected. When you keep it real like that and you go to the Most High, and He will help you fix it like right now. He don't drag you through the mud. It's when you act like your pride and ego is going to help you against God, like you dumbass. No, that's when you get dragged through the mud. That's when you get karmic retribution. So I'm being advised to say you have to keep being the example. Even as you make a mistake, you're not disqualified from being an example. You were the karmic lesson. The lesson and the experience was to teach you that you're not a robot. You are human. You do make everybody makes mistakes. The point of me putting you in a space of imperfections are to teach you or to sharpen certain abilities about you to be a better teacher. Because to be a good teacher, you have to speak from certain experiences. You can't criticize things you haven't quite experienced. But that's not to say you're going to experience every nook and crane that's wrong in the book. Certain things are a big deal. Like certain things like food and people, like sex, they're human pleasures, right? So people seem to succumb to those things more than anything. So if you're a person who has nothing to do with sex, say you're trying to eat better, you're trying to eat cleaner, you know, you can still detox your body and still reach your goals just because you ate not the best stuff. You fell into your desires, into the temptations of all your favorite foods, who just so happen to be greasy foods or desserts or something, or takeout, a lot of takeout. You can still detox your body. You can still get back on track, okay? It doesn't mean that all is lost. I am not worthy anymore. That's disrespectful to yourself. You have to be a friend to yourself. Hence this card, be there for you. You have to be a friend to yourself. You have to be compassionate. But it's like, it almost feels like, okay, so being a free spirit, being somebody who is constantly learning through adventure, through being lighthearted, is taking all her strong qualities, like Queen of Cups, or somebody who's a free spirit, or a Queen of Wands who's in her natural aura, not like in a negative sense. Those people are free. You know, they love, they're warm-hearted. You know, they would do anything for anybody. You know, to see them happy, to see them more well off. It's not even about happiness as a part of like your emotional well-being, but just to see a person try to feel better about yourself, try to feel better about the situation. Anything I can do to support you, I would. But you also have to learn to draw the line with that. It doesn't come without boundaries. You can't just be all love and no backbone. You still have to have boundaries too. You know, you have to know when to say no. Always remember that no is a complete sentence. And you don't have to be nasty about it. It's like, okay, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to step off now. What can they say? What are they going to do? Disrespect your will and badger you? Be overly aggressive with you? Try to manipulate you? That's when you know when somebody's still trying to force what they want out of you. That's a red flag within itself. It really is a deal breaker, because at that point it's like, okay, now you just disrespecting me and my conglomerate. You don't even know what a conglomerate is because you're not taking care of yourself. Okay, nobody should need nobody that much. Okay, people can try to flip it around and act like, oh, I have no flaws. Bullshit. That's a flaw right there to say you don't have no flaws. Okay, that's a flaw right there when you're doing too much undermining. You take things from people or take things you like about the person and try to fuck it up. When people try to play God in your life, that's where you set boundaries. You don't have to love them. You don't have to be compassionate for them. Even if you said you was in love with them or actually love them, you can change your mind. You're allowed to change your mind. Okay? Because you got the tools in you. Okay? You're the one that has the compassion, the love, a balance of backbone with that love, intellect, common sense, you know, but you also have a bite. Okay? You're not afraid to fight for what you say you're all about. You're not afraid to practice what you say you're all about. These cards flip over together. That's the Emperor. That's a true leader. That's also masculine energy. But to be accountable for what you say and to bring into fruition what you say, and that Emperor card is actually here twice. Okay? To say that is the least. Look what's on the bottom. Oh, look what's on the bottom. Knight of Cups. That's somebody moving forward with kind words and compassion and authenticity. And look what's underneath that. I don't have to say nothing else. I can just stop the reading right here. The Empress. Clarifying the Empress. The Empress clarifying the Emperor. The Knight of Cups is clarifying the Lovers. It's just to be true to you. Like, I'm not gonna dish you and just say, oh, I fucked you, you just a jump off and this and that, just because it didn't work out right. But that person who was like working against you, so to speak, like hiding in plain sight, doing all kinds of crazy, just doing the most. Okay? They may feel like this, but you being you, you don't hate them. You don't walk around with hate in your heart. You have a lot of compassion with that Knight of Cups. You know, you can seduce anybody with warmth and healing words. Those same words that got you in the bed is the same words I could use to heal you. Right? And the bus stops there. Why? Because everything about me, person, place, or thing, right, wrong, and indifferent, is taking me through my north node. It's taking me closer to my north node, and what's all that I'm entitled to is there. So I can never stay stuck with you just because things happen. You can never have that kind of control over me because things like that happened. And I wish people to feel and understand and believe that they could think the same way, could go about things and or try to see things from a different perspective. But this happened, but that happened. I lost everything. I have to start all over. You didn't lose. If you have wisdom, you seek the wisdom out of what you've been through. Okay? And I forgot to say the Magician is clarifying that Tower card. That spiritual those enhanced spiritual abilities. You just knowing your worth and having that healthy esteem, nobody can't take from you what God gave you. To use it responsibly, even if you made a mistake or error in judgment. You still, overall, in hindsight, are the same source of survival, the same source of healing, the same source of, I still got to show up. I still have responsibilities. Okay? This is somebody who you're not even spiritually intimate. They can't be spiritually intimate with you because God is trying to tell them it's not just a lesson for that person. It's still a lesson for you too, to learn to get out your ego. This person looked like this because they was acting in a low vibration with their ego. And because of that, you're not on solid ground because you misbehave like that. Okay? And this is the psychology behind why this person or persons would do something like that. You can't force things to happen when you want them to happen. You have to take your time and build them. And you don't have to be a robot about it. But it's something you did behind the scenes that you can't really articulate to everybody because that would scare people, that you're even like that. Because people look up to you. You're a positive influence on the surface, but they don't know that you battle demons too, just like everybody else. Okay? That's how you can come to attract somebody who's spiritual, like her. Okay? But what you didn't know about her is her ability to be able to show up for herself. So if you feel entitled to something that's rightfully hers, or you feel threatened by something that's rightfully hers, common sense should tell you she uses those same tools to take care of herself. So she knows that it's not an epic fail. She knows that it can heal the world. So she clearly knows her value. Okay? Clearly. Now let's get this straight right now. She clearly knows her value and what she's supposed to be doing. And she clearly understands who she's supposed to be doing it with and what her value and her responsibilities and accountability, where it's taking her. She clearly knows. Okay. So it might be a little bit outdated. Your belief system could be a little bit outdated. Damn. On one hand, that's a sign of arrogance from someone. And on the other hand, is wish fulfillment. So on one hand, it's like this person just knew they had you in the bag. And on the other hand, you just know God has your back. So you don't have to want for nothing. You ain't got to break a sweat. And on the bottom is the Queen of Swords. Okay? That's a disciplined person. Regardless of if she's a gypsy soul or not. Regardless of her free spirit, she know how to wheel it in. Okay? And get the job done. That little 2 cents of talent and abilities you saw in her, that's nothing. That don't even scratch the surface. But if you are authentic, you would most likely be her counterpart. But you can't be her counterpart if you're playing against her. This says you're a badass being. This is like the introduction card, but I use it in the tarot deck with the rest of the cards. And it says you're a badass being. And I like that it's in red because that's passion. You're full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path of, the path to your best self. And with the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Cups there, you will. You already are on a path to your best self. And you don't have a problem disengaging to seek wisdom. Okay? I feel like in your mind, you're already wealthy. You already have everything that you're supposed to have. And it's just what's happening over time is just coming into fruition more and more. And as much as you learn and implement it and apply it to your everyday life, the more this comes into fruition for you in different forms. It's not just money. It's not just family. It's not just people. It's everything. It's spiritual wealth and health as well. So somebody maybe saw like one pinnacle, one or two pinnacles that they could take and try to dominate from you. You got 10 of them. 10. Somebody may have saw a couple of them and thought they was in the door, thought they should get in the door. This is your response to that. This is somebody who disengages from everything to seek counsel. And that usually follows when you're a little when you get a little bit off track. Okay? You become a little bit imbalanced because you're trying to mix energies that don't mix well together in hindsight. But you and your compassion and your empathy, because that's a Virgo card. Okay? The Pentacles, that's Virgo cards too. Okay? And those are cards, those particular cards, I mean, that energy, Virgo energy, loves to show up for people. They love to help people. They're very compassionate and warm and welcoming to people, but they also know how to get out the way. They also know how to disengage when need be because they're pure. They like to keep their intellect, their health. They're people who are prone to eating well, making sure you get the right rest, making sure you're educating yourself. They're super intellects. Like, they're like genius to me. There's quite a few Virgos in my family. You know, that's how I know. But these are people who are health conscious. And they don't wait for things to go wrong. They just do the work to prevent things from going wrong. So, but you're not worried about it though. That's in somebody's subconscious. Let me see, what's on the top? The star. That's you. Or me. That could be me. And the Tower card. So what was a spiritual involvement for you? Because that was clearly a test in how you handled it. And people think that, oh, I fell short, so I failed the test. But what's your integrity following you falling short? How did you handle that part? Right? Versus somebody who's operating in a lower vibration, like, well, I'm already fucked up, so I might as well keep screwing up. You know, your evolution and your integrity and how you handled it screwed up somebody's plans, as you can clearly see. Screwed it up. Look at them. I feel like somebody misjudged you. They did not see your value. Not all of it, but a little bit that they saw triggered them. So imagine if they saw it all at once. Things happen for a reason, right? So when they went after you, not realizing, oh, she may be not from the best neighborhoods. It's just a neighborhood. I travel the world just like you, right? But you pick something like the best neighborhoods. The neighborhood is what you put into it. The neighborhood I come from, we work together to keep it stable, to keep the kids protected, to make sure so the kids can go outside and draw chalk on the sidewalk. That's the neighborhood we grew up in. Nobody wasn't getting their head blown off in the middle of the street where I came from, even though that was the surrounding areas of where I grew up, surround some of the things that happened in the surrounding areas. The block I grew up on, everybody worked together to take care of each other's kids. You know, look after each other's kids. Nothing was a secret. No child could do anything on that block without the whole neighborhood knowing. You couldn't get away with anything. That's great parenting, personally. And it's great character. It builds character. Morals, ethics, beliefs. Like, some of the people who suffer from like peer pressure, like that's a peer pressure thing to me. To judge somebody based off their neighborhood. Don't judge a book by its cover. You didn't know that that person shines the brightest. I mean, you knew it. That's why you probably was acting like that. But this person who shines the brightest is called to do a service. You know, it's more than just tangible. You know, how you show up in business or in life. But it's also how you show up in the eyes of the Most High. Okay? He made you abundant by yourself. Like, that's a nine of pentacles because of your upbringings. Thank God for your upbringings because you're real. That's why you can have it like this without a partner. I feel like this person might have sold themselves very short spiritually, relying on the wrong resources. And I feel like that person or persons may be spiritually blocked off for a while, or like that spiritual prison, as they say, like that somebody's heart is hardened because of the decisions that they made. So it's like when I see these two cards about don't let your pride get in the way and nothing's set in stone, it's like not so fast, right? Your plan is not set, nothing is set in stone. You're not guaranteed to take over or take advantage or take what's not yours, what you didn't help that person to get, and you're damn sure not helping them to keep it. You can't, like, that person would not be able to build nothing with you because you don't have the ability to grow independently. You do bare minimum, and then you stop enough to draw people in, but you only draw lower vibrational people in. You might have drawn in somebody of higher value, but it's hard to keep them because you're not a match for them on all levels. Certain levels, y'all might get along. Like, it could be the potential, it could be the talent, like, it could be the full potential that y'all can both be an emperor and an empress. But both people, it's unrequited. Both people have to be able to do the work. Both people have to be willing to take a lot of that same sense of pride that you use to operate from your egotistical, like low vibrational ways. Is the same pride you could have used to create twice as much. Imagine if both people showed up like this, not just one. And what's crazy is this person was looking at you from a surface level. They didn't know your abilities was as strong as they are, but it comes with being spiritual. They did not connect that dot. I keep saying that with that initiation card and that spiritual card, and the tower card is here twice. This is you leveling up with gratitude and humility. So you already got the premonition that this was going to play out a certain way. But a high priestess is usually by herself or himself. This person probably because they were low vibration, as you see the tower card and the magician is on top of that. If you look at it in a lower vibrational sense, that's a trickster. That's somebody who practices the dark arts or is involved or associated with people who operate like that. And they play dumb like they play dumb like they don't know what's going on, and they really do. But you just as quiet, and they tried to play like you were dumb. You're not dumb. You already saw this. You was just allowing a person to unravel and unhinge. The person's going to tell, people always tell you who they are over time. Okay? And you made a decision as it became, more evident. This is the decision you made. Okay? Because you knew it was coming. You knew it was just a matter of time. That person kind of felt that it was coming, but they was doing everything they can with that magician card, and it just blew up in their face. So the darkness you was maneuvering through, going through what you had to go through in this lesson, in this particular experience, obviously it made you stronger. You were going through an initiation. That was the purpose. That was the lesson for you. The other person had to learn how to stop operating from their ego. It's not all you. You have to trust God and surrender to him and let him help you. And they chose not to do that. So it was a ruder awakening for them with the Tower card there, because they were being a trickster. Whereas you just knew your power. You clearly stood in your power. And there was no two ways about it. It was no democracy. So it was a rebirth for you. And that rebirth for you is someone who's on to the next level of that spiritual adventure of what's different. Like, what else can I learn? Like, what else is new? You know, I like these entrepreneur cards too, y'all. I like these. Like, an entrepreneur is a gypsy soul to me. Make it entertaining. If you're going to be on social media, use your platforms. They're a great source of networking and marketing, and they're able to connect with people. Like, it's a public journal. It could be a public journal. You can still use a journal to write stuff down, but I think that's awesome too. But allow yourself, I say, go recapping everything I just said. Just allow yourself to experience the journey without no harsh judgment on yourself or others, and no criticism. You can still love, but just love from a distance. Who is the sex entity that was trying to take over? That's what I want to know. Because that kind of was popping in my head as I was talking. Like with that Tower card and that trickster and the ego. And who is the sex entity? Somebody who was trying to mask themselves as your equal. Like, this is a balance of masculine and feminine energy. Let me clarify that. And what's clarifying that on the bottom is, this is a source. That's somebody who perpetrates and just kind of like, you know how you can't put glitter over shit. It's still going to be shit. So Ganesha in this deck, if I'm not mistaken, this is someone who is a lover, who talks about love a lot, and they try to mask themselves as your divine masculine or feminine. Whoever, how it resonates for the person watching this video or making this video. Hold up, I have more. Ooh, this is somebody this is a Jen who falls in love, who uses love as a weapon. King of Earth. What clarifies that is Ace of Cups. So to me, this entity only seeks out quality, experienced people. People who obviously are closer to God would be the more valuable asset to go after. With the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is well off. You know, but if you look on the next card on the bottom, it's the Seven of Swords. Like, it's a lie. This person, there you go. This is a star. This is someone who wants to distort. The purpose of this Jinn is to try to distort you, to make you believe that you're not as great as you are. Like, you can be taken down. Like, this person has the ability to take you down a notch. Like, I can tell, like, if you come my way, you'll have more tangible things. Like, all a Jinn can really offer somebody is tangible stuff. They can't surpass the throne. God is above his throne, so they can't surpass that. And it even says that in Surah number 55. If you have the authority to pass beyond the zones of the heavens and the earth, like past me, you should do it. But you'll never be able to without my permission. So then it talks about which of the blessings of your Lord will you both. When he says you both, he's talking about jinns and mankind. Which will y'all both deny? So for somebody to have denied him and thought that, well, my way is better and more successful, you know, and you got this damn entity, this love bombing entity attached to you, you know, and he ain't trying to go after the premium stuff, the stuff that's close. Like, you can't take nobody from God unless he allows it. So, nice try, Mr. or Mrs., whoever you are. So, the person, what's good with the person, you know, life after that experience, now that you're a part of that initiation process, what's in store for you? The person who's making the effort to do right. And it still looked like two counterparts. It says, my happiness is a direct reflection of how quickly I can shift my perception from fear to love. That just chumps the shit out of anybody who thought they was going to come to you from a space of fear and try to mask it like it's not fear. Try to say, no, that's love. No, it's fear. Okay? All your actions are fear-based. Okay? And you wanted somebody to sit with you and be in fear with you because you can't move. Fear doesn't allow you to move. Okay? It's very deceptive. And the card on the bottom is, my genuine desire to serve clears the path for me to step into my purpose. At least you know what you want. You know what you're supposed to be doing, and you're fine with that. Even if it means you're doing this journey by yourself. I mean, humanely speaking, by yourself, like without a partner. At least for the moment, that's how it's supposed to be. And I think that was the lesson for you and the person. You thought you were at the point, you judged it prematurely. Like, you're at the point where you can be with a partner and still do this journey. You're not there yet. So it's repentance, you know, it's pardoning. You seek the counsel from the Most High. And right away, he shapeshifts everything that you were experiencing and shifted it back into what aligns for you, what feels more natural to you. What advice can you tell a person? You can't give nobody advice who's not willing to listen. But if you wanted to leave it up to God, what would they need to do? Teach them to be still. Don't be such a busybody. You know, you be still today and listen to the truth in silence. So to me, it's giving me the energy that you still think your plan is going to work. I cherish every cell in my body. And it still feels surface level to do that. To think that maybe I'm not sexy enough, or maybe it's something I can do more physically to appeal, to sell myself. Like, you got the right talent, the right abilities, but you're in the wrong business, so to speak. You're in the business of deception, and it's stupid. Okay? So while you're being still and whatever you're manifesting when you're meditating, make sure you give praise, okay? If you want to get out that spiritual prison. But I think I'm not one to know that. It just feels like this person screwed themselves up, trying to be an enigma for you. So what's the next phase for your spiritual journey? Life post-initiation. Building your world. Creation, expansion, networking. Didn't I just say that? That social media card is there. What else? To clarify that, your power, you're reclaiming your power. Power over difficulty. Okay? You might have really learned to love this person, but you have to love them enough to put it in God's hands, and you did that. Now you're building your world. And if you notice this illustration, she has light. coming down on her because she's sitting in her prayers. It's more than just meditation. Okay? We're not going to worry about other people, places, things that didn't work out. It did work out because the lesson in it all was to help you. So where somebody was trying to do you dirty, it actually it advanced you. So that's probably really pissing that person off now because that person has to sit still and learn to cherish, learn to be grateful for that body. That's every cell in your body. Okay, now you gotta sit still spiritually and watch this person evolve because you made a mistake and prejudged, and counted people's blessings as yours, and it wasn't yours. It was that person's. And instead of just doing the work where y'all both could have had the blessings, both of you, it's enough it's the whole creator of the heavens and the earth. He has more blessings than we can humanly fathom, right? So you don't ever have to cock block on somebody else. It's enough for everybody and some. I wish my mother could see this. She would like this. This would be really cool. But if that person or persons, if you're on the receiving end and you try to take advantage of somebody, just repent, surrender. See how it turned your life around. See how it turned how you feel about yourself around. Okay, you didn't have to purposely go low vibrational. You know what I mean? Like you're accountable for yourself. You are responsible for your own well-being. Like everybody. Nobody needs to depend on you. You don't need to depend on nobody. Okay? Like if you don't take anything else from this reading, you know what I mean, from this counsel, this experience that I even had, then you have to trust. You have to be patient and allow him in. Surrender. Okay? Okay. And remember, there's not a person that could be messed with. Okay?